Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Roger Birchhausen, one of the ministers here at Unity Temple, and my pronouns are he, him.
And my name is Sybil Madison. I am a Unity Temple member and a worship associate, and my pronouns are she, her.
We want to welcome you all to this celebration of Amanda Thomas, of her life, her remarkable gifts, and her many contributions near and far. The range of speakers and musicians in today's celebration beautifully reflects Amanda's deep and wide impact on family, on friends, choral music in Chicagoland and beyond, and Unitarian Universalism nationally and even internationally. We also want to name and celebrate that Amanda was a dedicated member of this congregation of Unity Temple. And every time I said something to Amanda like, "We're so lucky to have you singing in the choir," she'd unfailingly reply, "Well, this is my church home." So this church home was a strong foundation for everything that Amanda did in the world, and she was in turn a strong foundation, and her legacy will continue to be, of this living congregation.
I want to fly away, fly to a peace I have never known, won't look behind me. Nothing can bring me down when I get off the ground. So many of us knew Amanda through song. She shared Black history, her faith, and her love through music. At Unity Temple, we knew Amanda as someone who lifted us up, whether she was singing a solo, leading us in song, or sharing her dry wit at coffee hour. I am so proud that so many UUs across the country and across the world came to know Amanda through her musical ministry. I also knew Amanda as a member of our Black, Indigenous, People of Color friend group, where we all worked together to create a space of communion and belonging. I hope that Amanda believed that our group was there for her when she needed us. I miss Amanda. I'm so thankful for the gifts I received from her presence while she was here on this plane. Let us rejoice together today in celebrating the wonderful and beautiful life of Amanda Thomas. Welcome.
I'm Reverend Emily Gage. I'm the Associate Minister here at Unity Temple. My pronouns are she and her. In Unitarian Universalism, we light our chalice to mark our time together as sacred. And this morning, our chalice lighter is Miles. Miles likes to play chess. He's known Amanda pretty much his whole life. We light our chalice in gratitude for the gifts of life, memories, stories, and love. We're going to skip ahead right now and hopefully get back to the musical selection a little bit later. We are gathered here this afternoon to celebrate the life and mourn the loss of Amanda Thomas, who was born on December 15th, 1964, and joined the ancestors on May 21st, 2025, at the age of 60. Over her lifetime, Amanda was so many things to so many people: a great-granddaughter, a granddaughter, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a partner, a wife, a mom, a daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, an auntie, a colleague, a caretaker, a teacher, a conductor, a fellow singer, a leader. She had a smile that was absolutely radiant and reflected a spirit that shone so incredibly brightly. Also, because she was the queen of selfies, mostly with others, many of us gathered here today, that smile will be forever with us. We can be grateful for that. Amanda was born in Chicago to Charlotte Thomas and Donald Wallace and was raised both in Chicago and Kankakee, Illinois by her great-grandmother, Maud Carey Binns, her grandmother, Gladys Holliday, and her mother, Charlotte Thomas. She was the fourth of 6 children. Her 4 remaining siblings are her brothers, Lionel, Kevin, and Mario, and her sister, Angela. Her brother, Keith, preceded her in death. Throughout her life, family was extremely important to Amanda. And as she grew older, she helped her mom and siblings raise 2 generations of nieces and nephews, always part of an intergenerational network of care. She loved being an auntie, and Amanda extended her auntie love far and wide to many young people, taking them in as chosen family. I know she was always in my kids' corner. Amanda was one of the generation of Black students who was bused to white schools as part of the nation's desegregation efforts. She played basketball on her high school team and was a lifelong fan of women's basketball, most notably for college basketball, Tennessee Lady Vols and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Later, when Chicago got its own WNBA team, she became a very big fan of the Chicago Sky. She also had strong opinions on these matters and didn't hold back on sharing them. She and my wife would text a running commentary back and forth occasionally to each other throughout a game. Amanda was also active in Taekwondo and got her black belt in the 90s. And as you might expect, her roots in music and theater go way back. Amanda also played violin in her high school orchestra and was active in theater in Kankakee. After high school, Amanda worked at Shapiro Developmental Center in Kankakee for 15 years, caring for developmentally disabled adults. She attended Illinois State University, Kankakee Community College, and Prairie State College before she ultimately earned her bachelor's degree in music from St. Xavier College in Chicago. In 2002, Amanda was attending the Unitarian Universalist Community Church of Park Forest, where she met Heather, who later became her wife. Heather worked for youth for years and years, and on that fateful Sunday morning, Amanda saw Heather for the first time after a mini-con at the Park Forest Church. That is to say, Heather had just spent the night in a building with a bunch of youth, likely with minimal sleep, minus a shower, and in very casual clothing. And all Amanda could think was, "Who's that girl?" I'm sure Heather looked fine that day, and this, no, she didn't. This story is a reminder to me of the way Amanda had a way of looking right at people and seeing what was most important. A short while later, Heather and Amanda began dating and fell in love. Heather's daughter, Brianna, was 7 at the time, and Amanda would say that she also fell in love with Brianna. Fast forward a little, and Heather and Amanda had a ceremony of union at the Park Forest Church in 2005, and Amanda became Brianna's mom, too. It was the beginning of a great love story and partnership. In 2011, when Illinois passed same-sex civil unions, Heather and Amanda had a ceremony here at Unity Temple on August 6th. I was lucky enough to officiate at that ceremony. And then in June of 2014, in celebration of Illinois passing same-sex marriage legislation, Unity Temple had a big, fabulous wedding where we celebrated the legal marriage of 10 same-sex couples. And Heather and Amanda were part of that great celebration of love as well. And I'm sure Amanda would agree that you can't have too many parties or celebrations of love. She was planning a fourth. Amanda's love for this family of Heather and Brianna was so steadfast and true. They were an essential element of how Amanda was rooted in this world. Also, it feels important to give a shout out to Dolly, their much beloved dog. Hey, Dolly, we're sending you some love too. It's pretty much impossible to think about Amanda without thinking about music. And indeed, the vows at Heather and Amanda's last wedding all used song lyrics. Even as she was earning her degree, she was choir director at the Park Forest UU Church. Our own Unity Temple music director, Marty Swisher, met Amanda about 20-ish years ago at a UU musicians conference and taught her at St. Xavier. When Amanda's family joined this congregation, Amanda sang here in the Unity Temple Choir. She was an occasional soloist in worship services and sang at our Spring Music Festival. And she always returned here when she could, even as she served as music director at First Unitarian in Chicago, Second Unitarian in Chicago, and DuPage UU Church in Naperville. Amanda was always widely encouraging of those who wondered if they should join a choir. The answer was always yes. I think the answer was yes even if you didn't ask. There's something about singing together and music that brings people together, that shapes you, and is in large part due to music that so many of us are here today. Amanda was also involved in music beyond the congregation. She conducted Voices of Power, who you will hear, who are part of the Spotlight Performance Academy in the South Suburbs. She sang with C21 Women's Ensemble for many years, and in large part because of her encouragement, I auditioned for that group too, and we got to be fellow altos for a few years, not always well behaved. Early on, too, Amanda said yes to many opportunities in music and leadership within Unitarian Universalism. I got to sing with her in 2018 at the Kansas City General Assembly when she was chosen to conduct the Singers of the Living Tradition. She traveled around the country leading workshops on singing meditations and singing spirituals. She also served on the board of the Association for UU Music Ministries, on the UU Association Music Leadership Certification Committee, and the UUA Appointments Committee. She was a regular participant in Finding Our Way Home, an annual retreat for UU BIPOC religious professionals. She was involved in and led worship for Drum, Diverse and Revolutionary Multicultural UU Ministries, and Blue, Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. All this is to say that Amanda was a well-known and much beloved person throughout our religious movement. Amanda had a vibrant presence and an innate sense of justice. She was passionate about anti-racism, disability rights, women's rights, anti-capitalism, LGBTQ+ issues, especially trans issues. She was fierce and loving and dramatic and theatrical. She loved the color purple. The picture of her on the order of service just feels like a perfect snapshot of her best self. There was something about Amanda that was very resilient and strong. She had metastasized bladder cancer at the end of her life, but she had survived thyroid and breast cancer. She had lived with bipolar disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder. She had, in other words, all kinds of health challenges, and still, somehow, even though her life was not as long as we would have liked, Amanda's life was very full and very wide. We, each of us, are the better for having known her, for having experienced her music, her humor, her talents, her generosity, her care, her energy, her buoyancy of spirit, and her love. May our hearts be grateful as we celebrate her life this afternoon. And we're going to hear from Voices of Power. This is the group that Amanda conducted, and the song they're going to sing is a song that Amanda taught them and that they performed at their last concert together. Amanda and Heather's daughter, Brianna, is going to share a reading with us.
Holy cow. Okay. If you don't know, if you're drinking water, it's impossible to cry. Just so you know. Okay. This is Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Holland. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the trace of a shadow on it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute, unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well.
Amanda's lifelong friend Tom Nelson is going to share a reading.
She is Gone by David Harkins. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would want, smile, open your eyes, and go on.
Amanda's sister Angela is going to share a song with us.
Hello. I'm Amanda's youngest sister, and I'm gonna sing this song. I'm sorry I was late. It was horrible traffic. Okay. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on and I know he watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow. Oh, and I know he watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. He watches me.
Through the magic of technology, we have a video tribute from Amanda's friend, the Reverend Michael Slack.
Good afternoon, dear ones. My name is Reverend Michael O'Neill Slack. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm wearing a black suit, white shirt, and a purple, gray, and black tie. As you all are honoring and celebrating the life of our dear friend and colleague Amanda, I am likely screaming on a roller coaster with my daughter as we celebrate her 9th birthday today. I am so sad that I can't be with you in person and so grateful that Zora got to meet and spend a little time with Amanda. She was really sad when she found out that Amanda had passed and wanted me to tell everyone in the room she knows that she loves you and she's sorry Amanda's not here in the same way as she was before. A big part of my life in our faith movement has been in service to Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism as its minister. Blue is an organization. It's also a spiritual community. It's family. But more than anything else, I think it's home. It's home to Black people who center love, justice, and liberation in pathways of connection and spirit of every kind. We worship together in Black sacred space, offer pastoral and spiritual care to one another, uplift our elders and our children, gather in small groups, offer daily affirmations. We work to build affordable housing for Black and Indigenous families, and love on each other in person and online every chance we get. It is through Blue and opportunities I've had to sing in community that I and so many of us got to know Amanda. She was very special to me. When she smiled bigger than anyone I knew. When she was annoyed by people or a situation, she wasn't afraid to say so, to make right what she could make right and leave alone what wasn't hers to carry. She had a power that was honest and settling in its clarity. I appreciated how real she was and how much space she gave for us to be real right alongside her. Reflecting on my time with her, I realized that I didn't get to sing with Amanda as much as many of us did. What Amanda and I did was talk about life and laugh. Oh my God, we cackled about everything under the sun and sprinkled between jokes and silliness about all kinds of things. She'd ask me what I was doing to find joy in my life and would make sure I knew how much I deserved good love and would find it. She was right, and I'm grateful that she actually got to witness it happen. What I knew, whenever we parted ways, was that Amanda Thomas cared about me, she loved me, wanted every ounce of goodness for my life, and would always be ready to break out into song or laughter whenever it was what I needed to get out of my head and come back down to earth. Even absent her physical presence, I know that the world can't exist independent of Amanda's magnificent spirit. She laughed too hard, moved too powerfully, sang too beautifully, and loved too abundantly for that to be true. Amanda, my dear, I gotta miss you so much. And it brings me joy today, knowing just how much of your love and light we get to carry out into the world because you were here. Heather, Angie, and everyone who Amanda called family, thank you for sharing her with us. May her memory forever be a blessing to us all. I love you.
We're going to hear a song from C21 Women's Ensemble, and this song that they're going to sing is one of Amanda's favorites.
Friends, I am the Reverend Christy Lunsford, and I serve our Unitarian Universalist tradition as a transitional minister, meaning I'm called to help guide congregations through times of change and loss, when we're moving between what has been, what is now, and what is next in your ministerial life. It's sacred work, and I hold it with care. And that is not my role today. To be honest, I really wish it were. Because in those moments, I could slip into the familiar pastoral steadiness that lets me hold to a scaffolding. Because right now I'm feeling quite unmoored. Facing a moment of transition between what has been and what is next. A transition none of us expected to face for at least another decade, really. And maybe I could pretend, just for a moment, that the world hasn't changed. And it has. Like you, I'm here today to lead, not to lead others through grief, but to stand in it myself. To honor our beloved Amanda M. Thomas. For those of you that know. To acknowledge that the shape of the world has shifted in her absence. See, we had plans. She and I, we had plans far into the future of travel and holidays, of work and play, of rest and stillness, in both our professional lives and our personal lives together. We had plans with our wives. We had plans for when they'd had enough of our foolishness and sent us away together. With Heather's blessing, I've come to you today not as the Reverend, but as someone had the immense gift of being Amanda's person. See, to be someone's person means to hold the sacred trust of deep knowing. It means being the keeper of the inside jokes and unspoken understandings, the one to finish the sentence, to sing along in really silly moments, and to sit in silence and still feel connected. I met Amanda through this UU faith in a sacred swirl of musicianship and ministry. I was just beginning a path towards credentialing myself as a musician in our community. Amanda was the self-appointed greeter to the gates of UU Music Ministry. This was long before she was in leadership, but it didn't take her long. If you've ever arrived somewhere feeling lost and then found yourself suddenly belonging, it's probably because Amanda was there, making sure that you were shepherded into a community, included in all the ways, including some that leadership didn't know about. She did that for me in more than one community, because Amanda was a connector of people to people, of people to purpose, of people to their joy, especially when it came to music. She welcomed me to my first UU Music Conference with a warmth that made space for my whole self, even when I didn't know how to share who that whole self was becoming. And though she made countless connections with other people, ours kept returning and circling and deepening until we discovered that we had what we called matching luggage. This metaphor, that shorthand of unexpected, unexplainable bond that just is and needs no definition, where she faltered in her own competence, and she did, I stood with her, unwavering. And when I wavered, she brought a clarity that loved me into liberation. What began as work spouses became something more. Two souls walking each other toward our best selves, living our best lives, and doing our best work in the world, witnessing each other. Now, Amanda never went so far as to enroll in seminary. In fact, she believed she could never have the patience to do the work of a minister because she couldn't be that real with people. But make no mistake, she ministered to all of us. She and Heather housed more than a few seminarians during their studies here in Chicago and beyond. She asked the hard questions and gave space for us to fumble around like we knew something, and laughed with us when we didn't, challenged us, and held the sacred truths of who we were becoming. She has shaped countless ministers and ministries, not through titles or credentials, but through presence and unwavering love. She was with me all through my seminary journey, but more importantly, she was my person in my personal transition. She coached me daily on being able to say that I am unapologetically transgender, masculine, non-binary, with the conviction that she would be unapologetically a Black woman in this world. She helped me choose clothes, dressing me in video chat calls in many cities, coached me through the shifting tones of my voice. She worried for my safety, knowing what daily oppression can do to the soul. She more than understood, and she sat with it all. And we laughed until our ribs hurt. We sang until we could not catch our breath. We sang everything. We shared a love for big classical pieces, but the most fun were the made-up songs. I don't know if you've ever heard the to-do list or the grocery list sung to you, but she could do it, and you couldn't help but laugh. That was a reminder of joy every day. She showed up again and again, for me, sure, but probably for everyone in this room, and tenfold. She showed up as a teacher, a coach, a friend, and a champion, the foil you didn't know that you needed when it spurred you to something greater, the companion in your sorrow, even now, holding the worry for her people. She gave that time freely. And we spent many hours on the phone. I won't tell you how many a day. But she liked to text and talk to many. She liked to talk. And talk. And even through the talking, she was listening. Deeply, intently, with her whole heart. And in our multiple-hour daily conversations that were sometimes co-working calls, sometimes not, sometimes with others on the phone, she would speak the names of those she loved and cared for, many of you here, and wondered how to best support you. That was her ritual, her prayer. Love in motion. We were often on the phone when Heather would get home from work at the end of a day and come through the door, and Amanda would sing out with me on the speakerphone together, "Hey, honey." And we'd laugh And that would be the cue to end the call, because that was her love's time, and understood, but only for a while. Most nights after bedtime, teacher's hours, my phone would buzz next to my bed and with a, "You up?" 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Didn't matter. We'd talk again about our day, our hopes, our heartbreaks, and our beloveds, until we could no longer hold our eyes open. We'd say goodnight, knowing that in just a few hours, between meetings or driving to rehearsals or to Kankakee, we'd check in again. She was constant, a light, a sacred presence. We filled each other's lives. And though there's this silence, I still hear her. In the pauses, the music and the memories. We're all here today because she was irreplaceable. And yet, she gave us music and her joy and her fierce love and a deep, deep belief in the goodness that each of us carry. So even in this surreal reality, I know the legacy is not over, because she saw the spark of the divine in every one of us. She wanted everyone's light to shine, everyone to sing their truth into the world. And for that, I'm grateful. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
Because I don't have a lot of voice and I need to not sing. I'm the Reverend Carol Thomas Sissel. I serve a congregation in the Unitarian Universalist tradition in Arlington, Virginia, as their minister of social justice and community development. I also serve as the chair of the Commission on Appraisals for the Unitarian Universalist Association, and I am the treasurer of the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association. So I'm a big cheese, y'all. Thanks. I also have to tell you, I sound like this because I'm suffering from travel laryngitis, is what I figured out at around 2 a.m. on Thursday morning. I finally got to my house after a 6-hour flight from Iceland, which was amazing. But I'm a little dehydrated and a little travel laryngitis-y. Oh my gosh. I loved Amanda. And I don't know when it started. I just know that I did. And what I also know is that she just loved me back, which is an extraordinary thing. I'm 63 years old, and I met Amanda after the age of 45. Now, you all know that black women don't make friends when they old. I'm just saying. Like, you find your friends and you find your people, and then you carry them along with you. And when the Unitarian Universalist Association decided they would let me in, there was Amanda. Not another minister, just this beautiful, bold, black woman, unapologetically black, saying, come on in. The water is not fine, but come on in. Oh, gosh. The way that she lived and loved and loved and lived was something we must cherish, must remember, must appreciate. I loved Amanda. There was something in my bones that felt better when I was physically around her. But more importantly, there was something in my core that knew, that just really knew I was a better person and the world was a better world because she was in it. She helped me to no end become the minister that I am today. And it's interesting that since she died, people started asking me, so how long have you known Amanda? So when did you meet Amanda? Were you in seminary together? So what do you know about her? Like that kind of way? And I was like, well, you know, as the second career minister, my life is actually clearly split into before things you, and into my existence now. But it's a tough question for me to answer. I know I met her in the UU world since I fully stepped into this universe of Unitarian Universalism. But I don't remember Amanda never being in it. I simply don't remember when I actually met her. I think it was at a Finding Our Way Home thing. Do y'all know what Finding Our Way Home is? If you don't, Finding Our Way Home is where all the brown people go to talk about the white people. Nicely. We say nice things, mostly. No, seriously. You go to Finding Our Way Home, and it's usually, it's in the spring. It's in like March. And it's after you've been in a church year from planning in August, you made it through Thanksgiving, and you ran through Christmas, and you got through MLK Sunday, and you had to talk during Black History Month again. And March comes around, and you're like, I need my people. So you go to Finding Our Way Home. And at Finding Our Way Home, I think that is when I met Amanda, is I showed up being me, and she showed up being like, simmer down. Well, right? She's like, I want to keep my job. I don't know about you. It's like, I know you're a minister, Carol, but simmer down, simmer down. What I know is it was, Finding Our Way Home is magical, but Amanda in Finding Our Way Home was like the cherry on top of whatever it is you want to put a cherry on, y'all. Was that much better. It was that much more real. It was that much more a place where people of color, after a long church year that wasn't over, could exhale and laugh. Oh my God. Laugh. You know, there's a minister's laugh on Sunday, like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yes, I heard about that too. Oh, yes, things in America are challenging, yes. We have some political issues we need to figure out, but oh, how are you today? Yes. And then there was that laughter at Finding Our Way Home in the elevators and at nighttime. And yeah, it was more like, oh, God, let me tell you what happened to me. let me tell you what those people in church actually said and did. Come here, let me tell you just a little bit. No, they did not. Yes, they did. Well, it's going to be all right. It might not be all right. And then there was that, right? The laughing that goes along with that keeps us all alive. For me, with Amanda, it was like she had a GPS tracker on my spirit. If I was in the middle of a crisis, if I was frustrated, or I was lonely, or I was contemplating leaving the ministry again, Amanda was there. I didn't have a phone life with her like Christy did, but I had a rich and rigorous text life with Amanda. And what always amazed me was if something was going on with me and I sent her a text, she answered. I never was left in the land of ... Like, is somebody gonna say something back to me? If I was being snippy and curlish and needed someone to talk to, she was there and she listened by text most of the time. She reeled me in when I got too close to the fire. She kept me from saying things I should not say out loud to people that I want to serve. She came to my congregation in Arlington, Virginia, and spent a week with us, one of the hardest weeks in a Black minister's life, the week between the Sunday before MLK Sunday and MLK Sunday. And she worked with one of those wonderful groups of people who want to be singers and sing on Sunday morning, sometimes just classical stuff, and need their papers in front of them. And Amanda came in. See, y'all are laughing because you know what that is, don't you? You know exactly what that is. Amanda came in and they were like, well, we want to talk to you about it. We have some things we want to share with you, and this is what the choir is like here in Arlington, and this is what we've been working on and what we're hoping for the week with you. And this was Amanda. And after holding the room until it fell silent, she simply said to them, put your papers down. We don't, in the music, and then put your papers down. This is how we're going to do this. I'm going to teach you in the African American, the Black tradition, to sing some music this week. And the way you're going to, but how can we do this if we don't have our music? She's like, this is how it works. You watch me. You watch me. You don't talk to each other, because that's not what happens in choir if I'm up here. You listen to me. And I sat in the back of a sanctuary with this choir that I have been trying so hard to get to sing something, Lord, just to sing something that made me want to just tap my foot a little bit on Sunday morning. And in 2 rehearsals, she had them singing Pieces of the Storm. And by the next Sunday, on MLK Sunday, they had an entire repertoire ready. And it was only 4 songs. No music, no paper, nothing in front of them, but the gloriousness of Amanda, you right here. I got you. I got you. Let's go. You can do this. That, my friends, is a person who not only loves music, but loves people. She loved music. She loved people. She put up with all of us, and we put up with her. We put up with her. Yeah, y'all know who Amanda was. She had ideas and opinions. Which somebody told me earlier today, well, Carol, everybody has an opinion. Before I sit down and keep just saying I loved her and how she made me laugh, I want to offer you all something. These are the 10 things that I am going to try very hard to remember that Amanda held in her body and gave to me. For me, every one of these 10 things has a story that goes along with it. I know you have stories that go along with these things too. The pep talk. When I was on a broken record of feeling not worthy and willing to say things about myself that I would never listen to anybody say about themselves, Amanda was the voice that would say, I'm not listening to that stuff that's coming out of your mouth. Don't talk about yourself that way. You, my friend, don't talk about yourself that way. And she meant it. Number 2, the let me help. I'm sorry that your life is hurting right now. What can I do to help? Whether it was small or medium-sized or large, whatever the problem was that was causing me pain, she really wanted to help. Number 3, the you can sing. Now, I always have sung in the car very loudly. I sing in the shower like most of us do. And I thought, I'm never going to sing in public. That's not going to be for me. Amanda was the person who said, no, join the choir. I'm going to be leading it this year. You can do it. Just come on. Join the choir and sing. So I stood myself up and I brazenly went to the alto section and sat down. Now, you've heard my voice for about 8 minutes. I am not an alto. I was sure that I was. I brazenly went into the alto section and I sat right in the middle with this voice that you're hearing now, but not so scratchy. And I sang when the altos were singing. And Amanda said, can I have just the altos, please? Right? I'm like, okay, this is good. And she listened to just the altos and she said, Carol, why don't you sit over there with the tenors? And I was crestfallen, and she said, well, this was me. She said, Carol, please have a seat over there with the tenors. Now let's pick up where we are. We're at measure so-and-so, and we're going to move forward now. Are we all together? But I got to sing, and she made me feel like I could sing. But as long as I sat over there with the tenors. Number 4, I'll speed these up. The you best come correct. Y'all know what this is. If you're going to do this, if we're going to do this, if we're going to do anything, we're going to do it right. That doesn't mean perfect, but we are going to do it right. We are going to give it our full effort. We're going to make it come into fruition and make the dream come true. Whether it is singing, it is how you are dressed, it is hosting an event, or it is a presentation. You best come correct, because I have no time for foolishness with any of you all. The power of silence. I will once again mimic how she was with my choir in Arlington. Put your music down. The honorable endeavor. When Amanda sang, when she led us in singing, there was a carriage, a physicality to her immersion in the work of making music. Head up, chest out, chin high. This thing we are doing matters. We will do it elegantly. We will add a touch of regality to it. We will do the story, the work of singing together. And we will do it as well as possible. The unapologetically black Amanda. I will not explain that one. You have seen it. You know what it is. But the pride of her carrying what it is to be a black woman, a black queer woman, was unmistakable and unrelentlessly positive. It was something to behold. The Know Your Worth Amanda. Simply put, if you don't know your worth, nobody else ever will. The we share laughter, Amanda. Silly, wry, brown and black girl laughter that's like down low so other people don't hear. Secret laughter, public laughter. But the idea that we laugh and when we do it, it matters and we do it together. And lastly, number 10, that every visit, every time I see you, every time we are in a space together, it is worthy of celebration. Every time. I may only see you twice a year at finding our way home in a General Assembly, and we will celebrate that we are here together. We will hold that and make ordinary moments extraordinary moments. Those are 10 things that I think about, and I want to keep thinking about when it comes to Amanda. And the way to hold those, and I want you all to seriously try to do this, is to put a story with one of those things. For it is in the telling of stories and the repetition of stories that we keep people alive. My stories need to be yours. I want your stories to be mine because I want Amanda to stay with us as we move forward into the next place that we're all going to. Tell your stories. Share your stories. Think about writing them down or taking your cell phone out and recording the things you know and loved about Amanda. It is the stories. If we keep them alive, we will keep her with us. As we move into the rest of this day, into the next week, next month, and next year, I ask you to pause at some point in your day and think of Amanda with a story attached to it. Let that story come to life. Let it come into full color and hold it. And when you have the chance, share it. Share it with somebody else. Thank you all so much for letting me remember her with you.
We're going to hear from the Unity Temple Choir, and they're going to sing Order My Steps, which was one of Amanda's favorite pieces to conduct, and she conducted it in many places, so it might be familiar to you. Amanda's lovely and talented wife, Heather, is going to share with us.
Whew, y'all. You feel her, don't you? Shoot. On behalf of the very 21st century blended Thomas Godbout Craig family, we want to thank all of you for being here today, virtually or in person. I'm so thankful for so many people who were able to be here in person. I really appreciate that, especially since I may have bought out a Whole Foods of all of their charcuterie, and so we're gonna need y'all to eat a lot of food at the reception. Brianna and I, everyone in our family, has felt the love from everyone during this initial period of grieving. While this was unexpected, it brings so many mixed emotions because of the challenges that she was facing, and the pain and the illness that she was suffering. And so if you too are feeling all the things, just feel them. That's what she would have wanted you to do. We were blessed to have her in our lives. We were blessed that she served our world, communities small and large, in a way that showed that she loved with her whole heart. My wife never did anything by half measures. And she would be just overjoyed at the abundant music and love that is being shared here in this room today. So thank you all for coming. In her honor, now is when I ask for money, the family is asking that you support 3 organizations that meant so much to Amanda, and you can find QR codes for those on the back of your program, and I think they may also, yeah, they're up there, okay. The first is C21 Women's Ensemble, who you heard perform earlier. They are a progressive auditioned choral ensemble for women based in Chicago. Fresh and unpredictable, they create exciting musical programs that bring together classical and contemporary compositions on themes of social justice and women's rights, led by artistic director and founder, the amazing Marty Swisher. So I don't even know if Marty knows this, but the first time that Marty and Amanda went to a conference together, Amanda was so impressed with Marty that when she came home from the conference, all she ever did was tell stories about Martha Swisher, Marty Swisher, Marty Swisher, to the point that I just started saying, so have you heard from your new best friend, Marty Swisher, today? It was such a joy. Their friendship was such a joy. The second organization that we are asking you to support is Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, known as Blue. You saw Michael, who spoke earlier, Reverend Michael. They are committed to expanding the power and capacity of Black UUs within Unitarian Universalism, providing support, information, and resources for Black Unitarian Universalists, and justice-making and liberation for Black people through our faith. And then finally, we have Spotlight Performance Academy. The Spotlight Performance Academy is dedicated to providing high-quality performing arts education to children and adults in the south suburbs of Chicago. And if you know anything about the south suburbs of Chicago, then you may know that we are underserved in many ways. We are economically under-resourced, underdeveloped, and we are definitely underserved when it comes to arts and culture. So Spotlight Performance Academy is a growing organization that is looking to fill the gap in the south suburbs and get as many people as they can involved in singing and dance and storytelling. And Amanda was so incredibly proud to conduct their first, I won't say gospel choir, but it was Music of the Black Diaspora, so she was really wanting to bring that in. She was so incredibly proud. And so if you feel called, you can also give to them. May the world be transformed through your gifts, and may you be transformed through your giving.
We felt like we would be remiss if we didn't have an opportunity for everyone to join together in song. And so Duro, Amanda's friend, is going to lead us in a congregational song.
Just listen for a moment and we'll sing together. Somebody prayed for peace, had it on their mind. They took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for peace. Sing that with me. Somebody prayed for me, had that on their minds, took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for peace. My sister prayed for me. Had it on her mind. Took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed for peace. My brother prayed. You might like it up on your feet, had it on his mind. Took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad he prayed. I'm so glad. I'm so glad he prayed for peace. My brother prayed for me. My mother had me on her mind. She took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed. I'm so glad she prayed for me. Somebody prayed. Somebody prayed for peace. Had it on their mind. Took the time and prayed for peace. I'm so glad you prayed. I'm so glad you prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for
Amanda's longtime friend and the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Sylvia Betancourt, is going to offer a prayer.
Oh, Amanda, my queen, how I love you. How I love you. And yes, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, I don't do that a lot, but she made me every time, so I will do it today. Beloveds, will you pray with me? God of many names and one abundant love, we almost do not have to call love into this room to create containers for prayer, because we each became containers for prayer, for love, for justice, for pride, for community, for welcome, for possibility. The day that we met Amanda M. Thomas. May we remember not just the notes that have been shared so beautifully in this room, those notes that will resound into the ether forever, as the physicists teach us, but the notes she brought from our spirits. The fullness, the wholeness, the pride, the memory of who we were called to be, even on those mornings when we wanted to be anything
else. I pray that every one of us in this room takes this memory, the memory that we were everything to this incredible soul, and the memory that everyone else could be too. May I have the privilege of holding half as much love at some point in my living. May we remember that when we forget, there will be this many of us, including all of you who are online, all of you watching and recording, all of you who are part of the lineage that our tradition doesn't even acknowledge. But how many of you feel you are in the lineage of Amanda Thomas? I do. May we remember there are this many of us in the world to remind one another of a greater love, of a greater possibility, of a radiance that I see in everyone who loved her when they are reminded of who and how she was in this world. May we honor grief. This loss is real. It is large. In this space, when we can cast our spirits forward, can we join all that we hold most holy in wrapping love and protection around Heather and Brianna and Angie and every family member I am not yet privileged to know? Because grief is hard, but legacy is powerful. And I believe that those things come together in a balance that helps us to move forward, not to forget, not to not grieve, not to not remember, but to carry the light she invested in every single one of us into every day of our living. So may we remember the top 10 things about Ms. Amanda. May we remember the laughter, the naughtiness, the welcome, the perfection. But more than anything, may we remember that carriage for an honorable endeavor. I'm not going to ask you to have everything you do or touch be an honorable endeavor. That's not fair. But when you do bring your honor, your best possibility, not perfection, not lack of error, your honor, your wholeness, your humanness, your frailty, the real you that you might not even want to remember or acknowledge in the morning, when you bring your full, real, loving, true self to an honorable endeavor, carry her with you. There will be nothing but pride. Pride, memory, love, honor. We will be forever blessed by our beloved. May it be so. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
May we be sustained by this time together, and as we extinguish our chalice, may we carry the flame in our hearts, knowing that Amanda's spirit will always be with us, and that the light of memory and love always shines brightly. We have an amazing choir with representatives from every choir that Amanda was part of in the Chicago UU area to share with us to close us out.
No more cares, no more fears, no more worry, no more tears, no more hurt, no more doubt, no more aching. Rejuvenation. No more cares. No more tears. No more hurt. No more doubt. Complication. Just rejuvenation. Rejuvenate, 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 rejuvenate. No more hurt, no more doubt, no more aching.